Walmart. God bless, and I apologize. Walmart's a wonderful store, and I get lots of stuff from Walmart. But
yeah, we do.
Food has been grown by man from the beginning of time.
Right, right.
And those plants, pretty much as long as you don't pour gasoline on them or anything like that, they'll sprout all on their own. That's what they're designed to do. You're just kind of, nurturing it a little and giving it a little help. Making sure that it's, the temperature is between 80 and 60 degrees. You don't have to worry about, is it 72 degrees and is the humidity 85%? That's just another stress for me. For me,
Well,
I put
right.
up these plastic sheets. I put up these plastic sheets in the basement with some, 2x4s, and tacked the sheets to it. Bought some shop lights from Walmart and put them on pulleys. And literally for $200, we made a grow room that.
We had a customer in October who's a caterer, and she ordered enough microgreens for 500 people.
Wow.
And we were able to grow that in that fairly small space in the basement.
And those are just T5 lights, Colonel? Is that what that is?
Yeah, those are. Yeah, they're just shop lights from Walmart. Or Home Depot or whatever home. Now, if you're growing plants beyond the microgreen stage, light becomes very important.
Right.
But for what Donna and I are doing, it doesn't matter. As long as it's light, the plants kind of like it.
Well, so Donna, you mentioned you've got a caterer that ordered enough for 500 people. Where are you guys distributing your microgreens at? How do you get it out to the market?
We do farmers market.
Okay.
In the winter, we don't. In the winter, we just grow for ourselves. Although we do have some customers that order wheatgrass from us, but we just do farmers market because we're at a place in our life where we didn't want full-time jobs. We didn't want full-time commitments. We're doing this for health and therapy.
Well, that
I will
wheatgrass. Touch on that if you don't mind, because I know everybody talks about wheatgrass shots, wheatgrass stuff. How much of that can you produce in one little tray?
Wheatgrass looks just like the grass on your lawn until it gets 6 or 7 inches tall, and then it starts to look like real wheat. Okay, so you're keeping it at microgreen level. And it is, most people juice it because at the microgreen stage, it tastes like grass.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
So, it's what it tastes like, which is it's not bad. But most people, wheatgrass is used to juice. They don't just cut that and put it in a salad. The nutritional benefits of wheatgrass are many. As a matter of fact, we have quite a few customers say, do you have wheatgrass for people? Mm-hmm. We didn't have organic seed last year, so we kept it just for pets. But this year we have it for people. Lots of people requested it. And you're right, it is very popular right now. They say it's a jolt of energy. It's like a jolt of sunshine. But that's true of almost all the microgreens. I think it's maybe trendy.
Right. So when you guys think about doing microgreens, is there a process that you go through to determine what you're going to grow, or is it just what the market demands? How are you guys making that decision?
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. I apologize. My hearing aid.
No worries. No worries at all.
Into my hearing aid. So
you know what? Donna and I made use of it.
Oh yeah, I know. God bless you guys. Hey, we determine it pretty much by what grows to the first true leaf stage by 10 days. Okay. We don't want to make it past that 10-day limit. There are things that you can grow that won't reach the first true leaf stage until 30 days. The 30 days is longer than I want to commit to a plant. So first it has to have that 10-day, start to finish from the time I sow seeds across the top of the grow material until I eat it. So there's quite a list. You can find a list of those things that, and that's why we do it. The other reason is in 10 days I have a lesser chance of killing it than if it grows for 30 days. So that just increases my chance of screwing up the plant.
And there are some seeds that you have to soak because their shell is so hard. Swiss chard, beets, some of those. So that adds like a day, but pretty simple stuff. Most of our customers at the farmers market want to have things they kind of recognize. Broccoli is one of our biggest sellers. They enjoy that. Once people have tried sunflower seeds, we get a lot of repeat customers. But basically, it's like Mark said, whatever we can grow in a fairly short period of time. I mean, we gave up on cilantro long ago. Because, we're looking at the bowl and in a week we're not seeing anything. But we have customers who ask for it, and we say, well, there is another vendor right down the road that will sell you a full plant, and we love you. Thank you for stopping. But we have a lot of repeat customers. Pea shoots are popular if you're cooking Asian food, stir fries.
Okay.
People like that.
So I think about hemp for a moment, and I look at when we do our hemp and cannabis plants, they pop up and they're really thick. They're really, but then I also think about watermelon plants. So I was at the Southeastern Fruit and Vegetable Conference in Savannah this past weekend, and got 150 little watermelon plants. The stalks they're probably 2 weeks old. They smell so wonderful. They smell just like watermelon. So when you choose the seeds or the plants that you're going to grow, are you looking for something that's going to be very small and fine, or does that matter in that process at all?
They actually microgreens are very difficult to tell one from another because most plants at first true leaf stage look very similar. However, if you taste them, like a radish at a microgreen stage looks just like broccoli at a microgreen stage.
Okay.
Severely different tastes.
But the minute you put them in your mouth and chew them, oh, that is a radish, because that early you can taste it. Broccoli the same way.
Wow, that's so awesome.
There's different textures and different weights of the microgreens. The sunflower is a very dense and heavy microgreen, where the broccoli is more of a light, a handful of broccoli at that stage, you wouldn't even know it's in your hand. A handful of sunflower seeds, you're going to know something's there. So,
wow.
Did that make sense?
Sunflower is really the only one that looks vastly different.
The only one we don't have to label when we're growing. Everything else, if it doesn't have a label on it, we have no idea what it is.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
you were talking about hemp. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I think you answered it there specifically, because when we pop those plants up, that's a really thick stalk. I've actually never eaten one. I think now I'm just going to pop some plants up and take a bite of one and see what it tastes like. But, I think it makes all the sense in the world that you want to have something that's kind of fairly small and it doesn't have a long growth cycle, like you mentioned earlier, because that's going to be more nutrient packed and more tasteful, if you will. Exactly. So we've got a couple minutes left, and if you don't mind, give the listeners an understanding of how they can get in touch with you all if they want to look into Greater Than You Farm, or if they want to just learn about micronutrients. How can they get in touch with both of you guys?
Well, we're on Facebook under spelled out Greater Than You Farm. We're also on Instagram. Again, I think it's the hashtag Greater Than You Farm. And then our email address is greater than you, just the letter U, farm @gmail.com. We don't have a big following on any of them. We're not trying to be big. We're trying to show neighbors and friends and do this like an ink blot of showing people and have everybody else engaged and seeing, hey, I can grow my salad in my window. And they teach their grandkids, when they come for the summer, and the grandkids go back to, New York City or wherever, and they grow it in their apartment window. And now we've just expanded the knowledge of our youth and created another farmer in America. So that's where I get the enjoyment, and where I think Don and I are hoping this goes.
Well, I think that's the key.
Mark is the person that checks the email. He's very good about checking that. So
Perfect.
the email, he'll get back to you.
Well, I can't say thank you enough for the both of you all, Donna and Mark Olson, for taking the time out today here on the Veterans for Cannabis podcast to teach us a little bit about microgreens, what it means to the farmer, and actually talking about teaching a man to fish. Actually, let's scratch that. Teach a woman to fish, right? You teach her to fish, you're going to feed her for life. There you go. There you go. Let's be completely PC.
Absolutely.
This is a two-part podcast today. So the second part of this, we're actually going to keep Colonel Olson on, and we're going to talk about Veterans for Collaboration, what he's done there, and what we're going to do partnership-wise, and how we're going to bring truly agrotherapy to the forefront. Donna, Mark, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Colonel Olson, you and your service. Donna, are you a veteran as well?
No, I was a teacher for 33 years.
She's the mom of a veteran.
That's right, and that's all that matters. And look, she's by your side, and to me, the family serves just as much as the active duty member does. So thank you all both so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a great afternoon.
Thank you for what you do.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is Joshua Littrell signing off for part 1 of the Veterans for Cannabis podcast with Greater Than You Farms. Tune in for part 2 next time. Thank you so much.